We tend to think of words as being at the heart of negotiation. But that isn't always true. Sometimes the way we come across speaks louder than the words we say. So in this video, I want to look at the non-verbal aspects of negotiation. The first thing to think about when we think about non-verbal negotiation is arguably the most important thing. It's the first impression that you make upon the other parties with whom you're negotiating. And while part of this comes down to the way you look, and we'll consider dress in a minute, a lot of it is about the way you carry yourself. Enter the room with an upright and open posture. Be relaxed, smile, and be attentive to the situation at hand rather than distracted by something else. If you enter the room looking at your phone, or flicking through some notes, or perhaps talking with a colleague, then you're immediately signalling that there is something else on your mind. For more detail on this, take a look at our Personal Impact course, and in particular, the video on first impressions, posture and gesture. The next thing to think about in terms of non-verbal communication is your dress style, what your clothing says about you. And possibly the most important aspect here is the level of formality that you choose to adopt. And the simple rule is that people like people who are like themselves. We respect and like people who make similar choices to ourselves. Therefore, think about the context and how other people are likely to choose to dress in that context, and dress accordingly. Another rule that can serve us well is that people like people who are like they want to be. So if you are going to dress in any way different to the people around you, then aim to dress perhaps half a notch above the level that they will choose, setting yourself slightly apart but not too far apart from them. If in doubt, in any negotiation, then it's always going to be appropriate to adopt a smart and somewhat formal style, but not a showy one. Don't go over the top in any context. And remember, if you want to be taken seriously in any professional context, then no aspect of your dress should draw undue attention to itself. Joke ties and showy jewellery will say that you're more interested in the way you look than the ideas that you convey. For more on this, also take a look at our Personal Impact course, and this time look out for the video on first impression, look the part. The next thing to think about is your accessories. And again, the general rule is smart and stylish, but not showy. The thing is, people tend to notice accessories. So if you do want to make yourself stylish, if you do want to make yourself a little smarter, then a good basic suit that is appropriate to the situation, but with a nice accessory, good quality accessories, is what's likely to set you apart in an appropriate manner. And take good care of your accessories. Polish leather belts and leather shoes. Make sure that any jewellery is properly cleaned. If you're wearing a tie, then tie it properly and to the correct length. And an important category of accessories are the stationery items that you use, your pen and your notebook. And these don't need to be expensive, but they do need to be well looked after. And finally, if you have a phone with you, put it away. If you are going to need to take a call, then say so at the start of the meeting and make sure that people are happy for you to step out and to take a break if the call comes. It's only common courtesy. Your body language during the negotiation needs to be open, it needs to be upright, and it needs to be symmetric. That's to say, open means not hunched up, closed up, but open. Symmetric, so that broadly speaking, you're not leaning to one side, or your arms are doing similar things. And upright. The best way to manage this, whether you're seated or standing, is to imagine a string lightly pulling up on the top of your head, keeping you upright. These are the kind of body language signals that tell the people you're with that you're alert, you're interested, and you're engaged. Next, make sure you place your attention where it belongs. When someone is speaking, turn towards them physically. Don't just look at them out the corner of your eye. Not even turning your head, but turn your whole body towards them. Pay attention to the person who is speaking. That way they know you're fully engaged. And eye contact is an important part of this too. Make good quality eye contact with the person either that is speaking or the person with whom you're speaking. One way to emphasize your commitment to the conversation and the dialogue that's going on is to nod appropriately and maybe even to take notes at appropriate times. But the thing you mustn't do is fidget during a negotiation. That signals that you're not paying attention or that the negotiation is in some way boring you. So fight the fidget. I know that some people have an almost physiological need to doodle or to fidget, and whilst you know and I know that this may help you concentrate, the other people may not. So if you can do, fight the fidget and turn your doodles into productive notes. The final thing to say about body language during a negotiation is that if you lean forward too much during a negotiation, that can come across as aggressive. And if you lean back too much, whilst to you it may just be your way of relaxing and thinking things through, it can look as though you're somewhat disengaged from the conversation. So think carefully about any significant adjustments of your body posture. During the negotiation, perhaps one thing will speak most loudly of all. It is your overall demeanour. Whatever happens, stay calm, and whatever fails to happen, stay patient. Take a considered approach to whatever you hear, and if you start to feel emotions rising in you or sense them rising in other people, rather than respond emotionally, label those emotions and put them on the table as a discussion point. And linked to this is the final non-verbal element of a negotiation, and these are non-verbal vocalizations, the things we do with our voice that aren't really words. And the positive things are the verbal tics that signal that we're paying attention. That aha, I see. Those sorts of things are not true words. What they are is signals that you're either in agreement or that you're committed to the conversation. And likewise, avoid the equivalent vocal tics that say you're disengaged or not happy, the humph and sighs that give warning that your emotions are leaking out and you're not happy. Some people will say that 70% of communication is non-verbal. Whether or not that's true, whether or not that's even provable one way or another, the fact is that non-verbal signals are important in all forms of communication, and in particular in high-stakes communication like negotiation. You won't be able to master all of your non-verbal communication. You can't help but leak information about the way you're feeling. But the more you can do to take control of it, the more polished you will be as a professional and the more effective you will be as a negotiator. Please do give us a thumbs up if you like this video. There's loads more great management courses content to come, so please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of it. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.